Hello there. I'm Annie. Today I'm going to talk about how to find your soulmate and why you probably already have. So first of all, what is a soulmate? A lot of us have grown up with a certain conception of what soulmate means. Many people think it's a perfect match that fits like a glove and feels natural and is easy. I agree with the perfect fit part, but easy? I don't know about that. At some point in my early 20s, I came across this definition of soulmate that's a little bit different than what we're used to. It's the idea that a soulmate is any potent relationship where you're learning from each other. There are important life lessons being exchanged. Maybe the person has a lot to learn from you, or you have a lot to learn from them, or you're both learning from each other. This is not always a lasting relationship. It's not always an easy relationship, but it's still a very potent, extremely important relationship in your life that advances you. It helps you grow and become more conscious. It brings the unconscious things about yourself into consciousness, and you learn and you grow and you evolve. The relationship isn't always easy. It doesn't necessarily feel good, and it doesn't always last. I have had many such relationships, and I'm grateful for all of them. I'm in this growth mindset group on Facebook, and people, ask questions and share, and they're looking for feedback. And I remember there was a question comment the other day. The question was, why did your last relationship fail? And I thought, it didn't fail. The last relationship that ended, or maybe that person is no longer in my life, was not a failure. It just ran its course. It was meaningful and perfect and beautiful and exactly what I needed in my life at that time. And then we both moved on. It was not a failure. So just kind of a different way of looking at relationships and thinking about relationships and thinking about challenge in general in relationships, interpersonally, or just chaos challenges in life, dealing with money and technology and order and chaos and all the things that can go wrong. Just thinking about challenge in a different way, and thinking about challenge as not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe exactly the right thing in that moment to teach you what it is you need to understand. So I think a soulmate could even be like a nemesis. There's this lady at the park. Man, I hate this lady. She's my nemesis. But she doesn't leash her dog on the running trail. And it's the law, and when you break the law, it's going to piss off your neighbors. That's just how it is. This lady has always annoyed me because I try to run with my dog on this trail, and I have my dog on a leash because I'm following the law. She has this little yippy dog, and it just runs up to my dog and I kind of aggressively and tries to start some shit. Just a tiny little dog that's just kind of too aggressive for its size, And my dog's really big, so it scares me. Even though my dog's on a leash and is controlled, you can push him over the edge. If a little yappy dog comes up and pesters him all the time, I don't know what he'll do. So the best that I can do is rein him in and control him. And every time this dog would run up and try to start trouble with my dog, it interrupts my run. And the lady, she always says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Every time she has this dopey voice, "I'm sorry." She's not sorry, because if she was sorry, she would leash her dog because it's the law. She always annoyed me. But then when I was officially typed in objective personality, I learned that I have masculine SI, and it's my fourth function. So it's, in that sort of demon slot. So I am hyper aware of SI. I feel responsible to it, but I'm not necessarily good at it. And my SI is a blessing and a curse. There's a lot of things I like about it, but the SI is the spot where I get really stuck. My thinking becomes really black and white. And it's really hard for me because when it comes to the law, what you are actually legally supposed to do, it literally is black and white. And so, to just get over it or let it go is kind of hard for me when it's the law. I mean, I just feel like it's really clear. This lady's breaking the law. It's gonna piss people off. She's breaking the law. It's inconveniencing her neighbors, you know, and I don't really want to talk it out with her or make nice. I just want her to follow the law because it's literally black and white. So my thinking gets really like black and white when it comes to SI. And then, you know, that's what demons are. Anywhere that you get really, really stuck, your thinking becomes black and white. But I just feel like it's so much more complicated when SI is literally in black and white on the books. You know, I don't feel like I need to ask nicely or, you know, explain my position kindly and thoughtfully because it's like already been explained. It's just simply the law, just follow it. Anyway, this lady's my soulmate, right? Maybe she's my soulmate because I am learning something about SI from her. So if I can make peace with this stupid lady at the park, or at least come to a feeling of peace within myself when I have to encounter her in public, then I can probably overcome anything because that's one of my biggest demons. So in a way, this lady is my soulmate. This like stupid neighbor that won't leash her dog. But sometimes your soulmate is not some dumb lady at the park. Sometimes it's like an actual life partner that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, like a romantic love relationship. And even then, it's not easy. It's way, way better than that. It's better than easy. It's difficult. It's so hard that you break yourself open against it. You challenge each other and you bring out all the hidden stuff. All of that hidden subconscious stuff gets brought up into consciousness so that you can understand it and integrate it and become more whole. That's way better than easy. Challenging is better than easy. It doesn't mean that you have to be a glutton for punishment or that, you know, things should be hard all the time. I also have seen people in this same Facebook group discussing whether or not relationships should be difficult. How difficult is it okay for them to be? And some people seem to think that they should always be easy. If it's difficult and you're kind of forcing it, then it's not the right fit. I mean, that's true to some extent. You have to just feel that out. You have to know, when is it a challenge that's helping you grow and grow closer together, or when are you really, really forcing it and it's just not a good match and it's not going to work. But in general, challenge is a good thing. Embracing challenge is good, and it's really hard when you're in the middle of it. But looking back, you can see the value. For me, growing up was hard. My 20s were just hell. The 30s were a little bit better. And the 40s were even better because I was starting to see the value in all the challenges that I'd come through. And now sometimes when challenges come up, I don't freak out as much as I used to because I think, okay, there's another hurdle. But when you overcome things, so much value comes out of it. So I kind of expect to grow. I expect my life to be enriched by the challenge. And I also cuss and scream and pull out my hair. I'm not like totally zen. I do have enough awareness to kind of step outside of the challenge that's going on in my life and kind of understand, at least on some level, that some good will come of it and that challenge is good for me. So there's the part of me that's observing that. And then there's the other part that's like cussing and screaming on the floor and pulling out my hair. So I'm both things. But I think that it's a really good idea to adopt this definition of soulmate early on. I think that your life will be easier in your relationships if you have this perception of a soulmate. Expect it to be hard sometimes because the best things are. And in my relationship, we've been together for 13 years. And I do, when I meet someone that feels like it's going to be more of a potent relationship, more important, more meaningful in my life, I do kind of have a spidey sense, you know, upon the first meeting that, oh, this one's important. I felt that with many of my important relationships, and they didn't all last. So that feeling wasn't telling me this is going to last forever. It was just telling me this is important. And I think maybe when I was very, very young and I had those feelings, I thought like I had that kind of spidey sense and I thought, oh, this is the one. This is going to last forever. But after a few times of that happening, I just learned that that feeling was just telling me to pay attention to this relationship, that there was something to give or receive, you know, something to learn or understand. And when I met my partner, I can't remember if it was 12 or 13 years ago at the dog park. on the 4th of July, I had that feeling massively. I was suddenly on high alert. I suddenly knew this one's important, and I was really careful with the relationship. Even though, he was just some guy at the dog park, we both were very careful. It unfolded over the course of the summer very, very organically because we were both just kind of being chill about it, which is totally not me. Being chill is totally him and totally not me. But because I really felt like this one was important, I restrained myself and really just kept reminding myself that the most important thing was being open and honest and authentic and friendly, going straight for that like friendship energy. Like, how do we hang out? How do we chill together? What are you interested in? What do we have to learn from each other? Instead of, really diving deep into all the chemical feelings that come up when you meet somebody that's really, really hot. And he is really, really hot. So anyway, those are my thoughts on soulmates. If you would like to chat with me about this or anything else within reason, you can check out my snug link. I will put it in the description.